Hey guys, welcome to a new Q&A. So my monthly Q&A for March 2018. And I already saw that there was some questions going on in the chat. I think I'm like 2 minutes late, but I wanted to start at 9:15, but I was rushing right after my Legends of Tomorrow live tweeting, getting some stuff done. So sorry for being, again, like 2 minutes late, but not very late at all. So let's get into these questions as we go along. Just, ask me comic stuff, TV, movie things. Ask about my, YouTube channel, comic book, my comic books. Go for it. So axe away right now. Now, like I said, I see a few questions already. So Kenneth has a couple. Now, with Brian Michael Bendis taking over on both Superman and Action Comics following Action Comics issue 1000, what will it mean for the future of the other members of the Superman family? Well, I believe he's already confirmed on Twitter that he'll be working with Supergirl, so I'm sure there'll be other characters that he'll be working with, which will be a lot of fun, and I'd like to see that because so far the Super family in those titles have really only evolved Lois, Superman, and John. It would be nice to see, I don't know, Connor come back, or obviously having Supergirl, Steel, Lana, I guess, is off the table if you read Superwoman, but you never know, I guess. But yeah, it'd be cool to see those type of characters again in Action Comics and Superman. Okay, let's see. Another question from Kenneth. How many variants for Action Comics issue 1000 are you picking up? I'm getting the regular, the Art Gurm variant, and the Dan Jurgens 1990s variant. Well, I think it's like $10 a book, so I'm probably just going to get one copy of whatever cover I really like. I haven't really looked through the covers. I usually do that the week I pick them up, so I don't know which one I'll be getting yet, but unless something really, really catches my eye and there's like two covers I really can't choose from, then I'll do it. But again, most likely just going to get the one comic and whatever variant or regular cover I enjoy. I see Jay in the comments. He says, cat. That's exactly how he said it. Kenneth said, and let me make sure my sound's good. Yeah, we're good. So I didn't really check it. Anyways, next question from Kenneth. When do you think Justice League will get back to being a great book like it was during the pre-New 52 and first few arcs of New 52 under Jeff Johns? I mean, it looks like they're changing stuff up with Scott Snyder. I will definitely be checking it out. I don't know if I'll like the new direction, but like I said, you gotta try it out. But they'll be doing something different soon. All right, last question. I was going to say, because I was putting question and Kenneth together somehow. All right, but next question from Kenneth is last one for now. Now with Supergirl and Super Sons both being ending soon, what would you like to take over? Who would you like to take over on those books when they come back? Supergirl, I'm going to say I have something coming up for that, so I'm not going to comment on Supergirl because I will have comments on that soon. So not going to really say anything about that yet. Super Sons, I don't really like Super Sons much, so I don't really have a huge opinion on it. But yeah, I don't know who I would want. I guess somebody who's really good at team books, but I'm trying to think. Maybe Francis Mountpool. I really liked his voice on Trinity, so maybe he could do a cool thing for, and obviously I would love to see his art on, and that would be something I'd definitely pick up for John and Damian. So that's creator I could think of. All right, let's see. We got Scotty. Hey, Kat, hope you're having a chill night. How was Legends of Tomorrow tonight? I did my live tweeting, a lot of music references. I enjoyed that. I will talk more about it on the Legends of Tomorrow podcast. So we will be recording Thursday night, I believe. So that should be posted by Friday. So check out that episode for my thoughts on Legends of Tomorrow this week. We got Kate in the comments who says hi. And we got Jay. And yes, I did, Kat. I even did a dead on impression of you reading it. Super scary. I see, now you gotta tell me that impression, like that exact impression tomorrow, because I need to see if it was exact. but I believe you. We hang out with each other way too often not to have an exact dead-on impression. All right. Well, Jay also says, what is the biggest thing you are expecting in comics, TV, movies, and more this year? Name each category. Oh, cool. Comics. I think the whole Brian Michael Bendis taking over Superman is going to be huge for DC, and then whatever's happening with Doomsday Clock, that is going a little slower now because obviously it's twice a month, but I'm sure that's going to be huge. I'm also just really excited for the Batman wedding. I'm really excited for that. And then Marvel, it looks like they're trying to put more of a spotlight on heroes that have more of cult followings, which is cool. Some that I don't have a cult following for, so I don't know if I'll be picking them up. But like Multiple Man is interesting. Just the visual of that I thought looked really cool. So it looked indie, and that's the route I feel like these books of lesser known heroes should go. So I could really see Multiple Man being like a Vision type comic. And then of course more weddings. We got Gideon Colossus getting married as well. So that's kind of the general direction. I think we're going to find out again more about what Marvel books are coming out. Looks like Kate Bishop's going to be coming back in August. That was at the end of the book. So we know all summer we'll be getting announcements of different books coming out from Marvel, and hopefully some favorites of mine. So yeah, I guess I'm excited for that. And then indies, I thought Image Expo had some really interesting announcements, and always looking for new indie stuff. Vampironica comes out this coming week, which I'm excited for. So I'm really excited for Archie just delving into all these different genres, which I think is interesting. So TV wise, that was, I guess, a brush on comic books from the top of my head. TV, we got some big stuff coming out, like Westworld is returning. So that's going to be a big one. But yeah, I'm really curious. I guess TV in the future is these streaming sites of bigger names like Disney and DC, where that's going to go, because I think that's really going to change the game. And me and Jay, we do the upfronts, which is when television announce to advertisers what shows they're doing, and I'm really curious what direction they're going to go with these network television shows. Feel more like cable / streaming shows, because I think that's the only way these networks are going to be able to survive, is to, and also obviously embrace the internet in a lot of ways. So I think we're going to be seeing that in the next 5 years or so, how our network's going to stay alive. And then movies, I guess in general, I've been seeing a lot more movies. So last night I saw You're Next, which is a slasher film. If you guys don't know, I love slasher films. So been doing some viewings of more slasher films. Also Movie Pass. This is not an ad because I'm not getting paid by Movie Pass, but I'm getting my Movie Pass soon. I have a lot of friends that have it, which is that you can get a card, you pay a yearly fee, and you can pretty much see a movie every day. So you really, if you see movies a lot, you can really rank up how many movies you see. So I think that's going to be worth it. And I think that's also going to change the movie game a lot. I think more people are going to hear about Movie Pass. I know a lot of people, like obviously my industry and friends I talk to know about Movie Pass, but then there's other people who's like, oh, what's Movie Pass? So I think in the next year or so, that's going to be more of a mainstream thing. I think more people are going to know about Movie Pass, and it's going to be kind of like the Netflix in a lot of ways. How Netflix came about. Like some people knew about it. It's like, oh, cool, DVDs are sent to your house. So much more convenient than Blockbuster. So I think Movie Pass is going to revive people going to the theater and talking about new movies, which I think will be great. Because Netflix has, I think, deterred that. I think people are like, oh, well, I'll just watch it online. I'll just wait until it hits Netflix. So I think Movie Pass is really going to bring back that theater audience it needs. So movies I'm interested in seeing soon. I just saw Annihilation, which I saw a question on that. I saw that, I think, a week or two ago when it came out. I saw that. So I'll discuss it. But other movies I'm going to hopefully see coming up is Love, Simon. I'm really excited for that. To have a queer film in a blockbuster light, I think is really interesting and just a good direction for film. And then Tomb Raider. I've never seen Tomb Raider before, but it looks cool. I'll see the reviews maybe before. If it's like really bad, I won't go see it. But if it's like, I don't know, 50% or up on Rotten Tomatoes, or I'll give it probably like 60% or up, then I'll probably go see Tomb Raider. Again, MoviePass, it's giving you more opportunities to try these movies out where you're like, oh, well, I don't know if it's going to be good, but I'm not spending $15 on it, so it's okay. So again, I think that's going to change the game a lot, and people are going to give movies a try, like maybe like Annihilation, which was a bit more torn for the audience. So that was a long-winded answer. Hopefully you enjoyed that answer, Jay. All right, let's see. So the next question was from MT. Have you seen Annihilation? So yes, I have. I love the movie personally. I will not go too in depth on it because there's, spoiler zone there, and I'm sure not everyone has seen that movie, but I like that as a thought-provoking movie, and I don't want to say anything else about it. And I just hope they don't have a sequel. I think that's kind of what would make it good if it just ends the way it does. So I love Natalie Portman's character. It was cool to see a scientist slash military person. I thought was very interesting. And just representation of women in the military, I think, is important, and we definitely don't see in movies. So enough, I would say. I think you could probably count on your hand how many American movies you can see of women in the military. So we're starting to get more, but I thought that was important, and I thought Natalie Portman did a really good job. But again, I see why it's torn for people, but I really like it. I think it's going on Netflix soon because it did not do well in the box office, but I guess they want to garner some different audience members. So, and then again, going back to that Netflix conversation I was having. So we'll see, but I definitely recommend it. Go see the movie if it does jump on Netflix soon, because again, I think they pulled it out of theaters, sadly. But we'll see what's going to happen with that. But I'm okay because I don't want a sequel for it. All right. Kenneth asks, would you bring pre-New 52, post-Crisis Supergirl back in much the same way they merged Superman, New 52 Superman during Superman Reborn? I think that'd be cool if done right. Yeah, I mean, if they could do it, I think it'd be good. MT says, are you going to see Ready Player One? I've heard a lot of torn stuff on that. I don't know. See, it goes back to the MoviePass thing, but this wasn't on my radar as much. I know a lot of people were excited for it, but it doesn't really look like my thing, so I probably will skip it, and especially because so many people have been torn on it. So at least social media wise, I know like critic wise, it's doing fine. It's doing fine critic wise. I don't know if it has a Rotten Tomatoes score yet. Let me see. Searching Rotten Tomatoes. It has a score. I know that critics saw it. Yeah, early buzz, classic Spielberg, dorky and fun. I don't know if it has a score. I don't know. I don't see a score. So, but like I said, it seems like critics were liking it more than people on social media, though. So I'm guessing when that comes out, it'll be torn as well. Let's see. Kenneth says, Kat, what do you think of Supergirl Matrix concept that DC did in the 90s? It's definitely one of the parts I don't like of Supergirl was the Matrix storyline. Scotty, you got to review a lot of TV. What's a fun show you watch as a late when you're just relaxing and chilling? Well, because I also study television writing and obviously, like you said, review television, it's interesting when you watch TV. I definitely think I have a different experience watching television now. But yeah, trying to find a show just to like chill and relax. Honestly, comedies, sitcoms, because I don't tend to write sitcoms or break down sitcoms. Even though I could, those are the ones I turn to when I'm just trying to chill. So I'll watch like the ABC comedy stuff, or I just binged the Mini Project, the last season of that. So I just have fun with those type of things. So that's usually when I'm just like trying to relax. I'll watch that. Or even like anime, because I don't review anime. So things I tend not to review is when I try to, or tend not to write. It's what I relax with. We got Bavarian Reviews who says, hey Bavarian. And T, do you have or plan on getting a Nintendo Switch? I do have a Nintendo Switch. I haven't been really able to play it as much. I do have the Legend of Zelda game I really need to play. But once Super Smash Bros. Comes out, which was announced, I'll be using the Switch a lot more because that's one of the big games I play. Bavarian, would you ever make a video about your Watchmen project you did in the past? Would be interested to hear about all the themes. Well, thank you, Bavarian, for knowing about that. Maybe I do have a video series that might become a thing. I am doing it for school. So I definitely have one episode ready for it. And if you guys like it, I might do more of it. I guess I can announce it, or at least the idea of it. It's digging deeper into comics. It's looking more at like a scholar slash literary lens in comics. So first one I'll be doing is Paper Girls. I won't spoil much about it, but I'm working on that right now. So if it continues to do well, I would 100% want to have Watchmen on that list and probably look at the existential themes of Watchmen, because those are kind of my favorite ideas of it. And maybe look at, because what my paper was, I think like, what is it now, 6 or 7 years ago, or maybe no, probably like 6 or 5 years ago. It was my freshman year of college, and I'm in graduate school now. So yeah, it was probably like 6 years ago. But when I wrote it, it was about the comparison of the Watchmen comic and the Watchmen movie. And music was a really interesting thing to look at. Obviously, the ending of both is really interesting to look at. So maybe I would do a video version of that. I don't know, but let me know if you want to see that. Yeah, that's when I would do it. But definitely check out that Paper Girls video. That'll give me some momentum to do more of them if you guys like it. All right, so moving on, we got Tevye in the comments. Scotty, and let me load some of these comments. Hold on. Okay, Scotty, what was the most enjoyable movie in your opinion? One of the Best Actor Oscar nominees. Oh, out of the Best Actor Oscar nominees. I'll look at the nominees. Best Actor Oscars 2018. I didn't see the Gary Oldman one. I don't plan on seeing the Gary Oldman one. Okay, let's see. A complete list of nominations. All right, lead actor, Call Me by Your Name, Phantom Thread, Get Out, Darkest Hour, Roman J. Israel. For me, out of that list, Get Out is what I enjoyed the most. Really enjoyed that movie. Really like the direction. Tevye, I just answered about Annihilation, so go. I had a long thought process on that. All right, he thought it was interesting. MT said, "Did you hear Annihilation got put on Netflix outside the United States?" Yes, I did. I did hear about that. I don't know when it's coming to America though. Hopefully soon. Okay, let's see. MT says Annihilation is from the first book that's part of trilogy, but since it's not doing well in the US, the other 2 novels probably won't be adapted. I did hear that as part of a trilogy, but I heard a lot was changed from the novel. So again, it ended in a way for me that I'm cool with it. Just being that. Tevye says, what about the Han Solo movie? I mean, I'm going to be going to see it. I think it's out the same week as I'm going to be at MegaCon. So I'm going to try seeing that weekend. It'd be cool if I get to see it. Well, I don't want to spoil anything for MegaCon. But yeah, I'm going to try seeing it during then. Okay. Tevye says, I'm going to skip that, Tevye. MT says, do you see the picture of the new X-Men costumes for Dark Phoenix film? I haven't. I've been, for Dark Phoenix, I'm just kind of like going with emotions. I don't really need spoilers by any means. It's like, oh, when that movie comes out, I'll watch it. All right. Sleepy Reader says, would you like to write Supergirl monthly for DC, and what would you do with her? I would love to write Supergirl monthly. What I would do with her, I would go back to her roots. One thing I think that Supergirl being super really succeeded with was that it was a fresh outlook on Supergirl, but it still stayed to who she was. It still was optimistic in a lot of ways, and just how she dealt with trauma was really interesting. So yeah, stick to her roots. I think that these new versions have not been doing that. Like the New 52 is like she's so angry, it just wasn't Supergirl. And DC Rebirth, it was trying to be like a television show so much that it wasn't its own thing either. So go back to what made Supergirl awesome, and that was her optimism in a lot of ways. So that's what I would stick to. So good question. Yeah, I would love to take over Supergirl. All right, let's see. Tevia, speaking of Superman Reborn, do you think I already answered that, Tevia, earlier in the chat? Bavarian, yeah, for sure. I'll check out the Paper Girls video. I just read 1 through 5 and I'm loving it. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. And we got Real Manos, Justin in the comments saying, hey. Wally West says, my friend is new to comics and wants to read more graphic novels, one and done graphic novels. What do you think is the best in your opinion? So I get these questions a lot, obviously, of recommendations. And it's hard to recommend for somebody because you don't know their personal preference. So first you would have to tell me what do they like in stories and what characters do they want to delve into. And that'd be a little easier to do recommendations because we're all different. We all like different type of stories. I might love something and somebody else might hate it, you know? All right. NT, do you think Annihilation could possibly be up for Oscar nomination? No, I don't think so. I think it's a little bit too much of a blockbuster, weirdly enough, to be up for anything. And it's also too early to tell, I think. There's one movie that's coming out that I could see being up for the Oscars, Disobedience, and I believe it was a Sundance film as well. That one looks like an Oscar movie. I'm actually really interested to see what that's gonna be about, but also depends on what critics think about it and what viewers think about it as well. Because look at like movies like Mother. Everyone thought that was gonna be an Oscar movie until people saw it. I didn't see Mother, so I don't have an opinion on it. But just look at that as an example. Scotty says, I have to check out The Loud House. What are some other good cartoons that came out in the last 5 years, in your opinion? I've seen episodes of Gumball, whatever it's called, The World of Gumball. That was a fun one. I haven't watched many of it, a lot of it, but I've seen a few episodes here and there, and that looked good. Obviously, a lot of people love Rick and Morty. I gotta watch it, so I can't say anything about that. A lot of people like Bad Mouth. I've seen an episode. Definitely see why people like it. I don't particularly need to binge it though. Loud House is obviously the one that comes to mind the most. That's what I love out of animation right now. So those are all that come to the top of my head there. And I know Loud House is gonna have a spinoff, really, which is really cool, of Bobby's Family, which they had a special of that last season, and it's a pretty cool cast. All right, so let's see. Tevia, Kat, how would you bring back Mayday Parker? Because me personally, in my opinion, I think she needs to come back. How would I bring her back? I don't want to spoil it because how if I like Marvel comes up to me one day and say, "Hey, pitch a Mayday story." But I'll say what things I think need to be in it. Obviously, if the timeline we're following is post Spider-Verse, is her dealing with her father's death. I think that'd be really important. Obviously, it was touched upon in stories after that, but I think that would have to be the main focus, is how her life is different and how she's balancing her family and her life without her father. I think that would be a big story there. The Real Manos says, what's your reaction to DC's Black Label titles with Kelly Sue DeConnick on Wonder Woman? I didn't really get to look at them intensely, but once those come out, definitely will pick and choose. I'll probably check out or try out Kelly Sue's Wonder Woman. I usually not able to connect to her work as much as I wanted to with her Captain Marvel or Bitch Planet. I read issue 1 and I couldn't connect to it, so I'll try it out. We'll see if I enjoy her Wonder Woman. Let me go up. Hold on. Sleepy Reader says, I like your point of view on Supergirl. Maybe someday we'll see you tackle her. Fingers crossed. Well, thank you. I hope so too. That would be a fun character to tackle. MT, by the way, the reason it didn't air in theaters outside US is because one of the producers wanted to cut the film because he thought audiences wouldn't get the film. Well, I definitely understand that, but that's kind of what I loved about the movie, is that it felt like an indie film in some ways, just the way the narration was and the way the story came across. And I like that. I like when you can have a story and the audience members could find answers and find their own story in a way because they leave enough to the audience. So some people might call it lazy writing, but some people might call it amazing writing. I think it's the way you do it. Obviously, you have to have enough puzzle pieces for the audience to figure out. So yeah, I like that type of storytelling though. So personal preference though, like I said. Tevia, Kat, if you were chosen, writes John, aka Superboy, how would you have John find Connor? That's a very specific plot line. I don't know. Connor would have to come back. We have to know how Connor comes back into the DC Rebirth universe. We don't know yet, so that's all dependent. Bavarian, what are you in grad school for? I am in grad school for television writing. Tevye said, don't watch it. Mother. I don't have any plans watching it right now. Nathan says, hi. Hey, Nathan. Kenneth, have you read anything written or drawn by John Byrne? I just got his entire run on Superman and loved his art on Uncanny X-Men and Fantastic Four. I think I have. I don't know. I have to look back at what he worked on. MT, Alex Garland, writer and director of Ex Machina and Annihilation, said he would be interested in making a Swamp Thing. Okay, Swamp Thing film. That'd be cool. I still have to watch Ex Machina. That's been on my list for a while. I've heard great things. Tevye, any opinion on Reboot getting a reboot? Reboot. Making live action. I've never seen it, so I don't have an opinion on Reboot getting a reboot. Scotty says, I've been digging We Bare Bears and Bunakula. I need new age cartoons. I've heard of We Bare Bears. I haven't heard of Bunakula. Real Mano says, I would suggest Steven Universe, Amazing World of Gumball, and Disney Starverse, The Forces of Evil. Steven Universe definitely been on my list to watch. Gumball, I definitely want to watch more of. I only seen episodes here and there, like I said. And Star versus The Force of Evil, I saw the first episode of and didn't love it. I don't know if it was really my thing, but definitely see the praise, especially the magical girl influence of the... Oh, okay, that makes more sense. I was probably... Jay said John Byrne as in burn. Yeah, I was pronouncing his name wrong, that's why. Okay, let's see. Scotty, Spider-Girl versus Spider-Gwen. How's it going down? Oh, so they're going to be fighting? I don't know. I think they would try talking it out, or at least May, and be like, yo, why are we fighting right now? I need to know the circumstances. Why are they fighting? Do they both have the venom in them? Unless that's why May is fighting Gwen, is because she's trying to control her venom. I can see that happening. Who I think would win? I think in that scenario, I do think May would win. I think she'd be able to talk down Gwen in that scenario. Tevye, Kat, any opinion on Frank Miller's Superman Year One coming out this year? Probably not going to get it. I'm not a huge Frank Miller fan, so... And I didn't like his what was it? I think he worked on the recent Dark Knight Returns sequel. I think he was part of that and didn't love it. MT, did you hear Rick Remender wanted to do a Lobo comic? That's cool. I'm not a big Lobo fan though, so I probably wouldn't pick it up. We got The Real Manos, who says, have you seen the Cartoon Network's Infinity Train pitch pilot video? It's slated to be a series next year. I'll have to check it out. Scotty, there's a comic named Female Name of a Dog Planet. Oh my word. Yeah, it's a big one. I remember, it came out and only a few issues came out, and I saw everyone, on social media, like people having the Bitch Planet tattoos. I'm like, whoa, it made a huge impression on people in just a couple of issues. But I think it comes out pretty slowly. We got Real Manos, who does like that comic. It's pretty good. Scotty says, thanks. I got to dive into Steven Universe more. Give me a second. I'm loading. All right. MT says, what are your thoughts on Trump and the media blaming video games for school shootings again? I'm not going to delve into that. Try to stay away from the political conversation of that. Yeah, I'm just going to probably try to stay away from that conversation. I do have an opinion on it, but I'll try to keep this not politically heavy. The Real Manos, I had that reaction to the first couple of Star episodes. It picked up at the end of season 1. Cool. So maybe I'll watch season 2 and see if I feel differently. Kenneth, do you think there are too many reboots slash reimaginings in comics? I think with Marvel, yes, and with DC Comics, there is not as many reboots unless there is a crisis event. Well, DC is the only one who's actually ever rebooted. Marvel has never rebooted. They've relaunched a lot. So they've reimagined, but they've never rebooted their universe. And do I think there's a lot in comics? Yeah, I do. Obviously, I think I've talked about, I don't think Marvel doing the season television route, like they've been saying, like Fresh Start is going to be and all the other ones have been, is a great idea for the market. But I think comics need to reimagine. If we don't, we wouldn't have the comics we do have today. You know, comics are very much a reflection of society and it's changed with society. So I think we need reimaginings and stuff like Supergirl being super and the Black Line of DC Comics. I think those things are necessary, but obviously you don't want to flood the market with them as well. All right, Tevia says, Kat, how do you feel about Nick Spencer, Amazing Spider-Man, taking over after Dan Slott? Because personally, in my opinion, while I'm happy Slott is gone, I'm not happy with Peter Parker getting a new love interest. We did talk about this on Frontline Live, so if you want to check out our opinions, I believe it was 2 weeks ago when we talked about it, so go check out that episode. And Tevye, I know you've seen that episode, so watch that piece again to hear my opinion on that. Bavarian, how would you go about getting into a series that you didn't read from the beginning? Like, it bothers me to get trades and then switch to singles, but buying singles on eBay gets expensive. I usually ask Jay, is this a good jumping off point? Because he reads every comic. So usually, unless Jay miraculously has not read the comic. Honestly, a lot of time, I mean, I know the market for both DC and Marvel, so I tend to pick up the books I want. And if I hear really good things, I pick it up quickly. So it'd only be like I'm an issue behind. But I mostly get trades, honestly. I don't like picking up from the middle. I do like, especially with indie comics, like I feel like you have to pick up trades to get the full story. So I guess it's different because, again, I'm more on my ears to the ground with Marvel and DC. So I don't get behind with those type of titles. But most of the time, I mean, just new arcs really help. So if you see a new arc is going on, try picking it up. Listening to reviews saying, oh, this is a good jumping on point is a good help too. All right, let's see. We got The Real Manos. If Marvel or DC asks you to create an event book, what would you like to do? Man, this is a good question. I haven't gotten anything like this. An event book, man. Well, Marvel asked me to do an event book. I would love to do a Spider-Man event of some sort. That's something I would really like. DC, I would like to do probably like a character event. I don't know if I would want a big worldly event, but I'm also more of a character writer, so that's hard. It's hard to ask. So yeah, I guess going back to the Marvel one, it'd be something Spider-Man related. Tevia says, Kat, any opinion on Star Wars Rebels season finale? No, I've only seen the first episode of Star Wars Rebels, so I haven't obviously seen any else of it or the finale of it. Okay. MT says, have you read Jonathan Hickman's Avengers? I have. Wasn't a huge fan of it. I'm not a huge fan of Hickman's writing. It's not my taste. Kenneth says, Kat, how big a bucket of popcorn do you get when seeing a movie in theaters? I get a big bucket with butter. I do get butter. I get a medium bucket. I don't know. I never finish it either. Now I want popcorn. Tavia, any opinion on Gail Simone writing Plastic Man series? We're going to definitely talk about that tomorrow on Frontline Live, so I'll save my thoughts for that. All right, let's see. Jay says, now she can write Dear Jay. When can I jump on Comic X? Sincerely, Undecided Uno. Yes, go check out Dear Jay on, I believe it's going to be on Frontline.com, comicfrontline.com tomorrow. So go check that out. We got Jesse in the comments. MT says, have you seen the anime Garzy's Wing? You should check it out. I'm gonna look it up. I don't think I've ever. I definitely haven't seen it. I don't know. I don't even know what it is right now. Let me see. Oh, it's old school. Yeah, I've never seen that. Never seen that one. Got CO says, hey. Tevia says, Kat, how would you do your Spider-Man related event? Because my opinion would be finally retcon. See, I don't think I'd be allowed to do that, Tevia. I mean, sure, if I could retcon one more day, that would be an awesome story to tell. But I don't know if Marvel is up to the challenge of doing that right now. Real Manos says, I respect Hickman's work more than I like it. See, I think I agree with that. I totally get why people love Hickman's work because it's good writing. It's just not my style of writing. It's not my style of storytelling. He loves using maps. All right, we got CO. If there's one thing you could change about Like Father, Like Daughter, what would it be? I was thinking about this because I work on Like Father, Like Daughter a lot. I guess the one thing I would change, and this is, I don't care that it's this way at all. I think it works for the story. But if I had to change it, probably that in our first issue, spoiler alert, I guess it's not really a spoiler, but Stephanie finds out that Casey father is invulnerable and didn't know previously. I think now that I've developed these characters even further, and their friendship even further, I think Stephanie would know. I think she would have known that her dad was invulnerable, but then the conversation would be that Casey got powers, and it's like, oh, this is something you were worried about this whole time, It's like, oh God, what are you gonna do? This is like your worst nightmare. I know this, So I think that's the only thing I would change. That was a good question, though. I've thought about that in the past, but again, I think it works for the story as well, the way it is. But I think that's the one thing I would change. All right. MT says, and if you guys have more Like Father, Like Daughter questions, always love to answer those. MT says, how do you feel about mecha anime? What's your favorite genre of anime? I like mecha anime for the most part. I guess it has to go against convention, though, because I'm not like a Transformers fan or anything like that. But the first anime I really got into, which I'm really excited they're going to have another season of, is Full Metal Panic, which was a mecha anime. But I like the dynamic between the male lead and the female lead, which is why I think I liked it more than the mecha aspect. And also it was more of like fighting robots, like they had knives and stuff like that. So I think it was a little bit more dynamic than the action sequences. And there's more about the female hero being connected to these mechas that interests me. So I think there's always has to be a plot further, like that, the popular one. I can't pronounce it right now. Evo, they had movies of it. Oh man, girl, I had an eye patch. I'm gonna hit myself that I don't know this. But anyways, it's a popular mecha anime. It's more about the psychological aspects of these stories. So those are things I like. I guess I like an anime in general, is when they can do character stories like that. And I think you see in anime more than you do in American television. Delving into the psychology of characters is really interesting. And really getting some of those darker arcs. So at least in animation, obviously, it's different from American television. So, but what's my favorite genre? Action, I guess. I like slice of life too, because I feel like that's something that anime can do that obviously American television tends not to do as often. Usually animation will be comedy, even if it has and I guess slice of life in anime is comedy as well, but it'll be stronger. Like this has to be comedic, but sometimes with anime, it's just like it's a slice of life. It's like it's an Archie comic, but for anime. So that's kind of what I like about anime, and they do stronger, I think, with is those type of stories that I kind of wish American television would embrace a bit more, or at least animation. All right, let's see. Sorry, I lost my spot. All right, Nathan says, did you hear about the details of Zack Snyder's JL? It sounds depressing. I have not. seen any of that. Got Justin, who's in the comments, says, hey. Jesse says, would you prefer TV series or movie adaptation of Like Father Like Daughter? Well, Like Father Like Daughter did start out as a movie script, but I think as I go along more with the comic, it definitely makes sense as a TV show. So yeah, I think TV. Tevia says, I'm going to skip that, Tevia. MT says, what kind of story do you think Grant Morrison would pitch for Spider-Man or Avengers? I don't even know. Something trippy. Scotty says, May and Gwen are fighting because the evil Mr. Sinister has put them on an alternate planet where they are starving and there's one slice of pizza in the whole world. This is a work in progress. Oh man, I could see that. I can see that being a fun one. All right, I gotta load this up again. Okay. Kenneth says, Kat, a while I saw a comic pop video where Sal and the other guys were talking about continuity being important in comics. Do you think continuity is important to comics? I believe I did a topic video on this, so go check that out. I think it's on Comic Frontline. So just put in topic video continuity. Tevia, Kat, I'm just wondering now that we are 2 years into Rebirth, how do you feel about Rebirth as a whole? Solid. I think there's some stagnant aspects to it right now. It's getting a little slower for me, but hopefully they bring some freshness into it soon, which I'm sure they will. CO, I've been waiting forever for a Q&A to ask that. Well, thank you. I appreciate you asking a cool Like Father Like Daughter question. It was a good one. Jay said, mecha anime all day. And Tevia says it's Evangelion. Yep, that was the anime I was talking about. And a couple of people mentioned it. A lot of people like mecha anime, it looks like. Tevia says, any opinion on My Hero Academia? Haven't seen it. It looks a little bit, was it like what's it called? Shojin? That the genre of like Dragon Ball Z. Probably pronouncing it wrong. But it looks like more that style, and that's not totally my style of anime. So I haven't watched it yet. Maybe I will. Jay says, I love mecha anime. Kat would like Knights in Magic. I think I'm gonna copy and paste that. I'll have to check it out, Jay. Okay. MT says, speaking of mecha anime, do you think under the right writer and director that Mobile Suit Gundam could get a good adaptation? I haven't watched it, so I don't have a big opinion on it. A lot of people big fans of mecha because they say, did someone say mecha anime? All right, let's see. Scotty said, interesting Paper Girls project you mentioned. If you can share, is there any other creative projects brewing in your mind that you're itching to start at the moment? Yes, I have some writing projects that are in concept right now that I'm really excited about, but nothing I can share. But that's all I can say is I have some cool things I'm researching about, which is cool, and working on. So that's all I'm going to say about that. And of course, the Paper Girls thing I did announce here. That was the first time I've announced that one. Tevia, Kat, why do you not like Super Sons? Because I love Super Sons. I've talked about this before, Tevia, but it's just not my thing. I don't really like their chemistry. That's all I can say about it. Sometimes things are not for everybody. We got the Flash, the Shapeshifter says hi. Jay says hashtag continuity DJ strikes again. Flash Shapeshifter just rung that bell so I don't miss as much next time. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Scotty says, like Father Like Daughter breakfast cereal, potato chips would be cool too. What would be a breakfast cereal for like Father Like Daughter? I feel like there's some sort of marshmallows in it. I don't like marshmallow breakfast cereal, but you can see like a vulnerable fist, vulnerable symbol as like marshmallows in the cereal. Who knows? Maybe in the like Father Like Daughter universe that exists. Well, I know, but now it exists. There you go. So MT says, do you think Gundam? I don't know anything about Gundam, so I'm gonna skip that. Uh, let's see. MT says, "Have you seen Tiger and Bunny? It's getting a new season as well." I did not know it was getting a new season. I have seen it. I liked it. I especially liked the father daughter storyline, like towards the end of, I think it was the second season. But I liked it. I skipped around with it, so I haven't seen every episode, but definitely would watch a new season if it's coming out. Flash Shape Chapter says they're liking Spider-Man. Just got back into it. Let's see. Yes, Continuity J is my least favorite J. I like Enthusiastic J. Tevye, Kat, now that Metal's ending real soon, I'm wondering, how do you feel about Metal? Is going to end and as a whole, because while I do love this event, I gotta admit this event's final issue being delayed. I guess they don't, he doesn't like it. I did not like Metal, so I don't have a huge opinion on the ending. It's kind of like, all right, Metal's here, I guess I'll pick it up. Let's see. Jay says, in other words, Tevye, sometimes you feel like a super son, sometimes you don't. Flash Shape Chapter, I can understand not liking Super Son since I don't like Batman the White Knight. It just doesn't seem like my type of story. See, that's understandable. And I do like Batman White Knight, but I could totally understand why people wouldn't like it. It's very political, not very political. It's more morally charged, I guess. I don't want to say politically charged because it's not really that politically charged except like one issue. But it's interesting dynamic of morals that I like. But also I can understand why people wouldn't like it because it is very far from the continuity that we know of a Batman. Hold on. I'm gonna not answer the whole animated Super Sons thing, Tevye. I think you've asked that every Q&A, so, and you know I don't like Super Sons. So I'm not gonna answer that one. MT, what's the most messed up or insane comic you've ever read? It seems like I haven't read it, but it seems like Savage Dragon recently has been pretty messed up. So just from the word of mouth from my frontline crew. Scotty, if you can access a question right now, what would you want to access? What do you want to see with like Father Like Daughter? What's your expectations and theories on the comic? That's what I'm gonna ask. And I guess, what would you like me to write in the future? What type of stories would you be interested in me writing? MT says, how do you feel about Blue Rose, who's 18, having a crush on Wild Tiger, who's in his early 30s? That was in Tiger and Bunny, I guess. I forgot their names. So let me look up their faces. Hold on. Although, I mean, if she's, going to your channel right now. I'm trying to copy and paste. I mean, if she's 18, I think it's okay. And she just had a crush. I don't remember going any further than that, from what I remember. Tevye, okay, new question. How would you bring back Young Justice series for Rebirth? Again, I think we need to know how these characters come back in general, and I don't know if that would happen in a Young Justice book. I think it would happen in another book first, and then it would launch a Young Justice book, because we still need Cassie and Connor and Bart, which it looks like Bart might be coming back in the Flash from the Flash Wars images, but Connor's still not there and Cass is still not there. So we're missing a few elements before we can get a Young Justice book. All right, let's see. Jesse says, Wild Tiger needs to tell her to go away. She won't like him in 6 months anyway. Good answer. Good answer, Justin. All right, Flash Shape Chapter. Pretty sure no one plays this game. Future Fight introduced this K-pop superhero named Luna Snow. She seems kind of interesting. Even though Marvel's relaunching, I kind of want her to get her own book. Let's see. Tevye says, oh, I got an idea for a story for like Father Like Daughter, about time traveling story, like in Back to the Future or in Spider-Girl, aka Mayday Parker, but for your series. I don't think May's never time traveled. But like I said, right now, we're dealing with some grounded elements for the book. You never know. All right, we got Kenneth Cat. There was a Titans annual back before pre-New 52 where Deathstroke took out Supergirl. I remember seeing that panel. That was so horrifying and brutal. All right, so I think that was just a comment. Tevia says, oh, right, you're right. You're right, Tevia. She did time travel. But wasn't really, I don't remember if it was actually time traveling in the, it was. You're right, Tevia. You were right. It was when she went back to her parents' days. It was early on. Forgot about that. It wasn't a huge arc, though. I think it was like an issue. Tevia says, Kat, do you think Spectacular Spider-Man anime series deserves a third season? Honestly, I think so much time has passed. I don't know if we really need one at this point. And there's been so many Spider-Man series at this point. Flash Shape Chapter, Shazam back yet? Nope, he is not. MT says Tiger and Bunny was also picked up by Ron Howard for a live-action adaptation a while back. For some reason, it hasn't gone anywhere. Given how successful superhero films have been, that's surprising. I didn't even hear that was picked up, but I guess we'll see. Maybe there'll be more interest after the next season comes out, which, again, I didn't even know that was happening, so that's pretty cool. All right. Let's I'll promote some things as we go along. This will probably be the last batch of questions. I don't know why I couldn't say that. So keep going with the questions. Whenever we're finished with those batches, we'll probably end the show. But I'm going to update you guys for what's coming up. So tomorrow is Frontline Live on Comic Frontline at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. So be sure to watch us there, talk all comic news and this week's comic books. So look forward to that. I have the Q&A today, which is cool. I guess that's somehow part of the promotion. You can check out my comics like Father Like Daughter and They Call Her the Dancer. If you want to read those, I have the link for the store in the comments. And what else I got going on? Today we just posted the poll and top 5 article, top 5 panel article on Comic Frontline, which I will share in the chat right now. On the bottom, there's a poll where you can vote which was your favorite panel, and then next week we'll announce it. We actually got a good amount of votes this week, so we're really happy about it. We love to hear your comments on it too. What was your favorite panels? Did you like our picks? So I will put that in the comments. Right there. There is the link if you'd like to vote, and let me know if you do vote. Trying to move up at the same time. Hold on. Give me a second because I'm trying to find. There we go. What else I got going on? That's it, I guess, for now. Check out my Twitter at Comic Uno for more information of stuff coming out. And then the Legends Tomorrow podcast, again, will be Friday. That posted, and I just was live tweeting if you want to check out my live tweets for the Legends Tomorrow episode from today. But let's get back to those questions. I just want to give you those updates now, though I give you some time to ask some questions as we get this last batch of questions here. But keep going. I'll do it until we don't have any more questions. So Scotty says, I do love the art form of music videos. Do you think they would be jeopardy with the rise of digital music online, or be in jeopardy? Not right now. I mean, you saw the Taylor Swift video that was released yesterday and how many views it's gotten. So I think the music video is still important for the music industry. Just it's being shown on different platforms now, not being shown in movies or TV specials or MTV. It's being shown on YouTube and social media. So I think the music video is still here to stay. Tevia says, well, Kat, how do you feel about the new current Spider-Man animated series adapting Superior Spider-Man? Because I feel that's a horrible idea. I've only seen the first episode of that show, so I don't have a big attachment or thoughts on that. Flash the Shape Chapter, what are your hopes for Titans? I'm stoked for it. I just hope to see a lot of Teen Titan characters, a good center of family, because obviously that's the most important part of the Teen Titans. And yeah, just good chemistry with the whole team. Kenneth says, my last question. Now that his run is ending soon, what do you think Dan Jurgens' run, what do you think of his run? I think it was good, I guess. I'm not a huge Superman fan, so I'm not in the same boat as Chris and Jay, who loved it, but there was story arcs I liked from it. But Not my all-time favorite comic. Again, I'm just not a huge Superman fan. I've always enjoyed Connor and Supergirl aspect of the Super family, but never as much Superman himself. Even though obviously I respect the character and obviously read it, I enjoy his stories, but I'm not as much of a super fan as That's an ironic pun. As Chris and Jay, who definitely get more ecstatic about the series than I do. But there's definitely some solid story arcs throughout. MT, I've got an idea for a Captain America comic where he tries to find out who really killed JFK. Do you think that would be interesting for a comic? I think it'll be interesting for an indie comic. I don't know if Marvel would touch that. Tevia says, Kat, how do you feel about the Titans TV show having Red Hood? So this was not confirmed or any trade site, so I'm not saying this is confirmed, but if it's true and it ends up being true, cool. I'd be interested to just see more of the Bat family in Titans and Dick's connections with the Bat family. So I think it'd be cool, but it's not confirmed. It's definitely, it hasn't been on any big comic websites. So I've seen people talk about it though. Scotty, I'd like you see you write something having to do with being a twin in a superhero setting. I think that'd be a cool point of view. That's an awesome idea. We'll see if there's any story ideas that come from that. That's cool. MT says, have you seen Doom or Wolfstein? I haven't seen either. Flash Shapeshifter. I heard that Marvel's canceling all their cartoon shows. That was just a rumor. They still have I think Spider-Man was renewed, so that is a rumor. Rabbit Ears blog. Hey, do you watch Steven Universe? I did answer this a little before, but I haven't seen it. Tevia, Kat, now that Peter J. Tomasi and Dan Jurgens are leaving, or I guess you meant are leaving Action Comics, I was wondering, how do you feel about Dan? All right, so I just answered that, so I'm not gonna go back to that one, but Kenneth just asked that question. Scotty, with Shape of Water winning Best Picture, what do you think? Oh, I just lost it. What do you think that means for the future of comic books and fantasy movies? I think at least fantasy movies finally have more of a chance, which I think is cool. And I mean, Logan was nominated for Best Adapted Screenplay. So I think there's more chances, at least seeing nominations in the next coming years. It'd be cool. Maybe Black Panther will be nominated for something. That'd be interesting. Flash Shapeshifter, do you think we'll see Hope Summers again? We are. She's going to be in Cable in March. I'll be picking it up because I'm excited to see Hope, and I've always enjoyed her character. Well done. MT, how do you think they'll approach Doom Patrol and Titans? I think they're going to focus on Rita and Beast Boy's relationship a lot. Tavia, Kat, any opinion on all new Superman series as a whole? I read the first issue and haven't read it since, so I don't have an opinion. Nathan, what are and were your favorite shows on TNT? I don't think I've watched any TNT originals. I don't know. I've seen a lot of repeats on TNT. Like I remember I watched Charmed and Angel and all that on TNT. I can't think of any original TNT shows I watched. I probably watched here and there, but nothing I could think of. MT, are you gonna see Pacific Rim Uprising? Nope, I haven't seen Pacific Rim. I know all this mecha talk, and I haven't seen Pacific Rim. MT, have you seen Code Geass or Trigun? I have not seen Trigun. Code Geass is on the list because Jeremy and Jay have recommended that one. Had an idea. So this is just okay. You skip that, Tevia. Rabbit Ears blog. Have you played Cuphead? I've never heard of that. Last Shapeshifter. What are your thoughts, Doc Ock? As of late, I'm personally tired of him. Yeah, they could shelf him for a while. MT, which do you think was better, Black Panther or Annihilation? I think they're two different movies. I enjoyed both for different reasons. MT, have you played any new video games lately? New? No, the latest Call of Duty. It's the latest one I've played. Tavia, Kat, how do you feel about JJ spilling the beans of Peter's identity to Norman Osborn? No, he didn't do that in the ending. So Norman figured it out himself by the end. It wasn't JJ. He was just kidnapped and he's like, oh God, what's gonna happen? He did not spill the beans. It was Norman figuring it out for himself. Uh do I think Bendis is going to end his run on Miles Morales? Yeah, it's ending. Bendis won't be on any Marvel book, so he will be off Miles. Flash Shape Chapter X, who do I think will write Miles? I don't know. I'm interested to find out though. Not sure. I don't have any ideas for that one. Okay, so it looks like the questions are done here. Oh, so just picking up. All right, yeah, I think we wrapped up the questions. So thank you guys for joining me again. Of course, I'll have another Q&A for April. I will let you guys know through social media, Twitter and Facebook, when that will be. Usually it's during the middle of the month. I try not to make it towards the end because I'm like, oh no, I don't have enough time. And then the beginning is like, I have enough time. So the middle works for me. But thank you guys for joining. This is Comic Uno. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter. Don't forget to like my Facebook page. Also, description below, there are links for my comic book, Like Father, Like Daughter. And don't forget to like the Facebook page of Like Father, Like Daughter. I'll see you guys later. Bye.